That anxious feeling, you know, the one that you should be somewhere else, doing something better? Well, that is the single greatest energy drain in your life. And listen, this isn't some modern flaw in our character. No, it's a powerful psychological manipulation. And today, we're going to show you the counterintuitive strategy that instantly flips that anxiety into peace. Yeah, just let that sink in for a moment. That constant nagging sense of unease, it actually has a name: FOMO, the fear of missing out. But here's the thing, it's so much more than just a feeling. It's a psychological trap, and it feels like it's been carefully designed by our modern world to steal your focus, right? It keeps you running on this endless treadmill of comparison, scrolling through everyone else's highlight reels, always looking over your shoulder, and never ever truly present where you actually are. Okay, so here's how we're gonna break this down. Think of this as a complete masterclass in 6 parts. We'll kick things off with the anxiety paradox, then we'll diagnose the energy drain. From there, we dive into the JOMO strategic framework itself and the psychology of why it works so well. Then the practical stuff, your 3-step implementation plan, and we'll wrap it all up with a final lesson on refusing to pay the price. Let's do this. All right, first up, the anxiety paradox. This is all about how choosing to miss out actually creates peace. You know, we're all taught that to be successful, you've got to be everywhere, see everything, say yes to every single opportunity. But the real paradox is true peace and peak performance come from the exact opposite. It's not about belonging everywhere. It's about aggressively, and I mean aggressively, choosing to exclude things that don't align with what truly matters to you. Peace isn't found by adding more. It's found by strategic subtraction. Okay, so before we can build the solution, we really have to understand the enemy. So let's get into diagnosing this energy drain and look at the real scientific cost of FOMO. See, it's not enough to just know you feel anxious. You need to understand the cognitive mechanics of why it's so unbelievably draining. We have to diagnose the true cost of this thing. So let's define this properly. FOMO isn't just a simple fear. Look at this definition. It's a state of self-regulatory failure. Now that is a crucial distinction. What that means is your ability to control your own thoughts, your own actions, it's being compromised. And it's all fueled by this constant comparison of your real, messy life to someone else's perfectly curated highlight reel online. This triggers a deep, deep need for belonging, and the end result is always the same: this chronic dissatisfaction with your own life and your own progress. And the cognitive cost of this is massive. There's this great term for it from Professor Sophie Leroy: attentional residue. Think about it. Every single time you compulsively check your phone or switch tasks because you're afraid of missing out, you don't just lose a few seconds. A piece of your attention, this residue, it stays stuck on what you just left. And all that compulsive switching makes it impossible to ever get into that state of deep work you need for real excellence. It leaves your brain feeling totally fragmented and your energy tank completely on empty. That right there is chronic emotional depletion. So this really paints a clear picture of the 2 states we're talking about, right? On one side, you've got the FOMO brain. It's constantly monitoring the outside world, just buzzing with high anxiety, fragmented by that attentional residue we just talked about, and ultimately just emotionally depleted. But then look at the other side, the JOMO brain. This is where we want to be. Here, the locus of control is inward. Your focus is controlled, it's directed, you have emotional clarity, and that allows you to point your precious energy toward high-value, meaningful goals. The whole strategy we're about to build is designed to move you from that column on the left to the one on the right. Okay, enough about the problem. Let's move to the solution. This is the JOMO strategic framework. And I want to be clear, this isn't just some fluffy mindset shift. No, this is a strategic framework, a 3-part system for defense. It's an intentional, precise system for taking back control of your own mind.
So the framework has 3 core phases. It's super clear. Step 1, the diagnostic audit. That's where you find your triggers. Step 2, cognitive reframing. This is where you change the story you tell yourself. And step 3, the boundary protocol. This is where you build the walls. Let's break each one down.
All right, phase 1 is all about becoming a detective of your own anxiety. You can't fight an enemy you can't see, right? So the first step is this diagnostic audit. And you need to get ruthlessly specific here. It's not enough to say social media. No. Which app? Which person's feed? Is it that news alert at 7 a.m.? Is it the work chat pinging at 9 p.m.? You have to identify the precise external cues that trigger that compulsive need to check. Think of this as your data collection phase.
Okay, now listen up, because this next phase, this is the absolute core of the entire strategy. Phase 2 is cognitive reframing. This is where the magic really happens. It's about consciously shifting your internal language from that passive anxiety of, oh no, I'm missing out, to an active, powerful commitment. I am choosing what matters. See the difference? You're no longer a victim of information overload. You become the architect of your own attention. This single reframe confirms that what you're doing right here, right now, is the most important thing you could be doing. And finally, phase 3. This is where we build the walls to protect your focus. It's called the boundary protocol. Look, your willpower, it's a finite resource. You can't rely on it 24/7. So you have to create a structural defense. You set up hard rules. Think of it as a digital quarantine. This could be as simple as no phone at the dinner table or 0 notifications during my deep work blocks. These aren't restrictions, you guys. They are strategic acts of exclusion, and they are designed to protect your ability to be fully present and focused. Okay, so we have the framework, but why does it actually work so well? Let's shift gears from the what to the why. We're going to dive into the psychology of peace and explore what makes JOMO such a reliable system. Because understanding this part is absolutely key to making this change stick for good. What JOMO does essentially is it hacks your brain's reward system. The FOMO reward system runs on external cues, a notification, a new post, a like. These things deliver these quick, unreliable hits of dopamine. It's basically like a slot machine, super addictive and incredibly volatile. But JOMO starves that system. By intentionally choosing your focus, you switch over to an internal reward system. The satisfaction you get from making real progress on a tough project or from having a truly meaningful conversation, that's a stable, durable reward. It's linked to purpose. It's a much higher quality fuel that gives you lasting satisfaction, not just some fleeting buzz. And what's so cool is that JOMO taps directly into our most fundamental human drivers. There's this powerful psychological theory called self-determination theory, and it says we all have 3 core needs. First, autonomy, the feeling of being in control of your own choices. JOMO gives you that in spades. Second, competence, that experience of mastery, of being effective. JOMO delivers that through focused work. And third, relatedness, the sense of meaningful connection. JOMO fosters that by helping you be truly present with people. And here's the kicker. When you satisfy these 3 core needs, anxiety just doesn't stand a chance. Okay, we've covered the theory, we've covered the psychology. Now it's time to get tactical. This is your 3-step implementation plan. This is the direct, non-negotiable playbook for how to apply this whole strategy and achieve that instant peace starting today. The plan is just 3 simple, super actionable steps. We have the Pre-Emptive Stop, the Intentional Exclusion Statement, and the JOMO Focus Swap. Let's walk through exactly how to do each one right now. Okay, step 1, the Pre-Emptive Stop. The crucial thing here is to start small and make it physical. Using the data from your little diagnostic audit, I want you to identify just one 10-minute window where you are most vulnerable to that compulsive checking. Maybe it's right when you wake up. Maybe it's that 2 p.m. slump. During that specific time, you're going to install a physical barrier. Don't just put your phone on silent. That's not enough. Put it in another room. Seriously, the simple friction of having to get up and walk to another room is often all it takes to break that habit loop. Step 2 is your secret weapon for that cognitive reframing we talked about. This is your self-talk script. Before you start any focus block, before you sit down for dinner, I want you to state this, either out loud or just to yourself. I am choosing to miss out on external information because this is my highest priority. And listen, this is not just some empty affirmation. It's a command. It primes your brain, it reinforces your sense of autonomy, and it literally short-circuits that anxiety response before it can even take hold. And step 3, this is critical for making the new habit stick. It's the JOMO Focus Swap. Every single time you successfully choose JOMO, every time you resist that urge to check, you have to immediately replace that avoided anxiety with a higher quality reward. You swap it for flow or savoring. What does that mean? It means you fully immerse yourself in the present moment. If you're working, dive deep into the task. If you're with your family, listen with your full attention. This positive reinforcement is what trains your brain that, hey, choosing JOMO, that leads to a way more satisfying reward than FOMO ever could. And that brings us to the final lesson. Refuse to pay. This is really the big idea, the philosophical stance that underpins everything we've talked about today. This is all about taking back fundamental control of your most valuable asset, which is your attention. So here it is, the big takeaway. Think of external comparison as a tax.
Every time you indulge in it, you pay a price, a steep one. You pay with your energy, with your focus, and with your peace of mind. JOMO is your internal, deliberate, and powerful refusal to pay that tax. It's a declaration of energetic sovereignty. It's you deciding that your internal peace is infinitely more valuable than any external validation. So I'm going to leave you with a direct challenge, because this isn't just about learning something new, it's about doing something new. So look at your day ahead, right now. Identify one moment, one meeting, one conversation where you are going to deploy this tool. So my question to you is, when will you use your intentional exclusion statement today? Make a specific commitment to yourself right now.
So, let's wrap this up. JOMO is the solution to that chronic anxiety, to that endless search for validation from the outside world. And what really matters here is that it provides a systematic way to gain instant peace and self-control. By reframing your thinking and building those boundary protocols, you are strengthening your self-regulation. You are shifting your rewards away from those fleeting external hits and toward a durable internal sense of purpose. Always remember, productivity isn't about doing more. It's about mastering systems that make focus effortless.